What we're going to talk about tonight is an extension of what we started to talk about last week, which is making choices, right? I think I told you, my agent will always ask me, when I tell her, oh, there's this great kid in my class, the first thing she'll always ask me is, have you learned to make choices yet? We touched on this last week, and that's what we're going to work on tonight. Anybody can pick up a script and read it. And basically, when you do kid acting, when you go to Nickelodeon, when you go to Disney, when you go to those places, that's pretty much what they expect you to do. And they'll coach you a little bit to be funnier, to be broader. But once you start reading for other stuff, the stuff we've been talking about, the shows where you get paid a lot of money, and as you start to, get more into grown-up acting, you're going to be expected to be able to make choices. And what that means is, what we started talking about last week, where you can look at material and go, what if I did this? What if I looked at it from this point of view? What if I decided that she is guilty? What if I decided she's lying? When you make choices, your work gets interesting. The great acting teacher Stella Adler, who taught all the great New York actors, said talent is in the choices. And that's what she meant. Good people make good choices, okay? So when you start to think about how do you make choices, here's what I want you to think about. First of all, when you look at a scene, of course you're going to read it over, and most of you, I'd say 100% of you, right now, the first thing you'll do is start to memorize the lines. That's why I'm not handing out the scene yet, because as soon as I give it to you, I know 99% of you will start going, and even if I tell you to put it down, you're going to be going, I know that. I see it happen every single time. The lines are only 10% of a scene, right? We talked about that. The other 90% is what's underneath. That's where you have to make choices. So here's what I want you to think about. Once you read through a scene and you start to get an idea of what it's about and you understand it, the first thing I want you to ask yourself is, who am I? Who am I in this scene? And if you just say, if you make a choice like, okay, I'm a girl. Well, that might be an interesting choice for me, but for most of you, it's not going to be an interesting choice. It has to be more specific. I'm a girl who has issues with her dad. I'm a girl who wants to drop out of school because I can't stand my teachers. I'm competitive. I'm angry. I have low self-esteem. I'm a happy-go-lucky, cheerful optimist. You make the most interesting choices you can. We call them hot choices, so that the scene starts to pop. So never say, I'm just a girl. Never say, I'm just her friend. Always make it as interesting and developed and complex as you can. So the first thing you ask yourself, who am I? Second thing you ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want in this scene? What is my objective? And always make it about getting something from the other person. As simple as possible. And it can change from line to line. Objectives change. So I want to make you smile. I want to make you cry. I want to scare you. I want to wake you up. I want you to say, I love you. I want you to laugh. Those are all choices, and they determine how you're going to say your lines. If I say, Michelle, your hair looks great today, that means one thing. If I say, Michelle, your hair looks great today, that means another thing, just based on what I want. So, who are you? What do you want?